Ramboy table, not round or square or triangle. We come to hang at the gang on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're at the Ramboy table, our host is formidable. He runs his train, walks insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hobby mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Label, quite incomprehensible, too wrenching, and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dutch babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the expressed written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
See it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. My mic says it's working. Everything seems to be working so far. I hope all you fellow knights of the Rhomboid table have gathered and are doing well here in the great hall of Castle Camelot. Let's go straight into greeting who's here and who I saw. I did delete a comment before the chat started, so it probably won't be on the replay anyhow. I don't like to edit, but anything that starts bordering into politics, I gotta delete right away. Whether I agree with the attitude or not, I have to police it both sides. So I hope you're all good on that side. So let me go down my list, and I know I saw a few names, so if Lego Man is still here, Sir Lego Man from Denmark, I hope you're still in the background. Hello, and welcome in, Sir Knight. We got our CEO, Sir Tim of Dowd is here. We've got Sir Lee from Anfield Road. We've got Sir Pete and Dame Sue from Delft Junction. We've got Sir Digger Evans. We've got Sir Greg from Great Northern. We've got Sir Andy the Hot Dog Pilot. And Andy, I am sorry, I have no idea what's going on with that package. I sent it to you. It left my place, went to Detroit, went to Chicago, went to Pittsburgh. went to New Jersey, and that's where it should have been put on a plane and shipped over, and now it's come all the way back to Chicago. So I don't know what's going on. I covered all the paperwork. It bothers me. I'm so sorry. This is proving to be a bigger hassle. I take it personally, even if it's not my fault. You know, it's my fault because I mailed it that way. Anyhow, Sir Ifo Fanzon is here. Sir Jean of Ricard is here. Sir Mick, the Royal Brewmaster, is here. I like that better than Royal Barkeep. The Royal Brewmaster. Although Sir Clive could also claim that because Clive did beer brewing and that for a living. We've got Sir Greg from Midsummer Rail. Hello, welcome in. And I'm sorry you had to go back into the hospital a couple of times this past week. Sir Dino from Model Railway Shed. Welcome in, good sir. We've got Sir Simon from SJ Train World. Sir Tom of Couples, our Sergeant at Arms. We've got Sir Chris from the Valleys. Great to have you. And Sir Eric from Bon Don Eisenbahn. So if anybody else was here, I saw earlier Sir Titi Ari was here. Bonsoir, mon ami. Ça va? I have to start this live stream off. I mean, lately it seems between the gremlins the first few minutes with my trains or the internet the last couple of weeks, it seems like lately I start off with something negative. I've talked about my own mental health stuff going in, and that kind of is pertinent to here. Sir Andy from Martwest Junction is here, and Sir Tom of Houston is here. But I have to start off with some negativity. If you were here on Artie's live stream last week, you already know. But Joyce and her family, but me and my family as well, are we're dealing with a family tragedy that occurred last Saturday. A nephew of ours committed suicide Saturday afternoon, or was discovered Saturday afternoon having committed suicide. He was 41, so he wasn't a kid, but this has kind of thrown everybody in the family for a loop, because Joyce's family, they make them, they're such good people, and they've all been such wonderful people, and this came out of left field to everybody. We're still, not only are they trying to get everything ready, the funeral's on Monday, but just why? What signs? I mean, everybody's missing signs. His boss at work had called him on Friday because our nephew had taken the day off of work originally to get wisdom teeth pulled, but had been sick for a couple of days and decided he was too sick and still feverish to go in. And the boss called him to check on him and to see if he was okay, if he had survived the surgery. Well, I didn't have this surgery, but I need to talk to somebody. Our nephew told his boss, I need to talk to somebody, and the boss assumed, about his teeth or what's got him sick. And the boss said, okay, well, I'll let you go then. And then sometime that night or the next morning, he shot himself. Yeah. And, well, to be honest, in the last few years, I haven't had a lot of interaction, even though he lives in the area here. There was always a special story with him because he was born a few months after Joyce and I started dating. And Joyce and I had been dating about 7 months. And we began looking at each other and going, we think this is a long-term relationship. We've been together a long time, and this is probably... And her sister gave birth to this nephew, and so Joyce has to see the baby, and we went over there, and then I got talked into holding the baby, and Joyce's sister were teasing me, but I've held babies before, but this was, it was weird, because it was where Joyce kind of looked at me and thought, yeah, he's father material, it sounds, I don't know if it sounds crude, but it was Joyce holding the baby 41 years ago. Joyce was looking at me going, oh, he's good with babies. he was good with kids, but he's clearly good with babies. And, you know, that kind of perked her. He's good father material. But yeah, we're just we're blown out of the water by it. It's come completely out of left field to everybody. Our hearts and souls are hurting for his parents, Joyce's sister and husband. You know, this is, how do you know, a parent should not outlive a child, you know. So I'm sorry to share that heavy news with you, but if I seem a little even more blue than I've been the last few weeks, we're trying to deal with this. Let's go on to more positive news. If you guys saw the video, I got a lovely gift from Thomas at Split Rock. This has just blown me away. I am so thrilled. Hey, Soraya Bobel is here. I saw a lot of people just dropped off. Probably didn't want the negative stuff dripping in. This is supposed to be a happy getaway. Anyhow, Thomas from Split Rock Mining Railroad, and you can check his website out. I posted a link to it in my video. He made this for me. Now, he's made cars that celebrate his, dare I say, fictional. I don't think there's an actual Split Rock Mining Railroad. I think he's created it. But he made this. I don't know if it's a Märklin car. Jean Ricard says he thinks it is, but I do not see Märklin written on here anywhere. And that's usually you see it. But he did get, you know, I've had one person tell me it's a salt car. Other people told me it's grain because it's got the closing top to keep the elements out. So salt and grain would make sense. But it's gorgeous. Problem is I just need like 3-4 more to make a nice rake of them. So that was just a wonderful gift. He bought the car. He painted it himself, applied the labels, fixed it all up himself. Bergbau Split Rock, which is Split Rock Mining in German. So that's just a fabulous car. It could be Roco, KJ. It could be Roco, but I'm not seeing anything on it. And Märklin, I almost always see it. Piko and Roco, sometimes I can't find it. It might just be somewhere else. And then also, while I was Christmas shopping on eBay, I came across this for real cheap. It's a little 3-car set. I am in. It's so amazing. Thomas sent this to me, contacted me last week, and I finally gave him my address and said, hey, I want to get this to you. I've made this for you, and I want to get it to you. Because I have been in an ore car collecting. I bought a couple of ore cars in Germany, and then I asked for a bunch for Christmas, and then I stumbled across these on eBay. So this is Era 5, Epoca 5. But these are really sharp. Hello, Sir Scott of Wood. Sir Scott Wood, welcome in. So I'll try to put these up on camera. Very sharp. I like these a lot. But it's just giving me some various hoppers and ore cars and such to use. So I'm really excited about these, and we'll get those. Now, next week, a week from today, will be Steamer Palooza. It'll be my official Christmas live stream, because my next live stream would be the day after Christmas. So I'll do a Boxing Day live stream and try to come up with a theme for Boxing Day for those in Canada and the UK colony countries. Sign into chat. Oh my goodness, what is up with that? I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden Google logged me out of my own chat. Fortunately, I still got that chat. So anyhow, yeah, that's what's going on. So what am I running today? It's a mixed lot. There's no freight. I ran 3 or 4 freight trains last week, so I'm running no freight this week. I apologize for those of you who love to see the freight. Next week there'll be more freight, because we are doing Steamer Palooza with the Christmas train, and we'll get some beer cars out and some other stuff, and just try to have some fun with it all. But so anyhow, let's go to 11 lane view. And So what we're running today, I'm starting off with a Class 218 diesel locomotive, and it is pulling a rake of German intercity coaches from era 5 and 6. So we'll get those on the road. And now I've got a Class 103 electric locomotive. This is the TEE. It's been called a RHeingold, and then I get people saying technically it's not the RHeingold unless it says RHeingold. But we'll get this guy going. Yeah, that one car, I've got to fix the light in it. Okay, in line 3, I'm running what's known as the Munich-Nuremberg Express. Whoop. Okay, I had it right the first time. Got this little glitch in my system. And then, are your lights on in the back? Yep. Okay, good. Everything's good. I might kick up his speed later. And then I'm running a couple of old timers. I am running this V200, a German classic. With a group of cars. That's sort of an era 3, era 4, early era 4. Whoop. Okay. What caused that? Nobody was on a point. I have to double check. Might have been on that point up there. Well, hello, Dame Jackie. Glad to see you here. Hope you're well. Anyhow, whoa, slow down, Tex. I'm running the Deutsche Weinstrasse, and I threw some cars to go with it. So, again, it's not really a prototypical consist. I just put it together best I could, hoping it would look all right. And then the one that might take a little bit of work to get me... Okay, he's going the other way. No, you were going right the first time. Come on. In the background is this little steamer. It is not a real steamer. It's not based on an actual class of steamer. It's as I've been explained by Jean Ricard, it is the predecessor. It's the predecessor to the KLVM. So it's just a fictional little steamer. It was their lowest price point steamer, and all right, I gotta figure out what's going on with this, and then I'll get. Oh, Google has taken over everything, and it's ticking me off. Oh, where's my phone? Oh, they always do that, and then they don't send it. Did somebody hack me? Okay, so anyhow,
I will get to the floor in just a second. I want to make sure everything on the top has started off well. Cock-a-doo-doo. Hey, Clintonville, how are you? So now let's go to what's on the floor, because right now it looks like everybody's successfully made a couple of loops. I did test them in, but only for a couple of loops. So let's go to the floor. The floor cam is a little special today. Just as I say, everything's going well. Who is it? That car? I wonder if that car's got a short in it. Because he was on that point. It always seems to be when something's on a point that I have those little stall outs. But on the floor, I am running a French 241, the DC French 241. So let me see if I could get him moving. Come on, you can do it. With a rake of some... Come on, go, you can do it, you can do it. I know I'm asking you to pull a lot. And I'm running the HST. Did lines? Yes, he did stop over there. Okay. Oh. That's why. Oops. I forgot to move somebody. All right, is that 241 still struggling a bit? Yep. Huh. I want to wait for that 241 to come around and see if I can get it. Yeah, old Carlin line. Oops, what do you mean, oops? There was still another train on that. Traction tire. Oh well. All right, so anyhow. Well, I want to know why they keep thinking I got Google Phones on my account, because I don't, and they keep saying I do. Everything stopped on yours? Hello, Sir Aaron. Great to have you here. I'm going to slow that HST down a bit. E's racing pretty heavy there. There we go. But running a little, you know, Tom C, Tom H, and hot dog. Aaronville says, I went to a local model railway shop, Great Eastern Models, bought 2 Piko 009 code 80 Electro Frog right hand points. Okay. Well, that's good. Glad to hear you're working on it. Knodelpresse, the whole, the U-boat. Oh, there's that. There's a lot of great nicknames in pretty much everybody's nomenclature. You know, you just got to look. I've learned a few very funny British ones in the last few months. Not that I remember them. Hello, Sir Christopher. Every American will get that. I don't know how many Europeans here will get that. I told Christopher, if you're an American listening in, I told Christopher the story of the TV show WKRP in Cincinnati and the turkeys. As God is, so help me God, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. Oh, the humanity! Turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement. I told him if he mentioned that to any Americans of a certain age, they would all know what you were talking about. So help me, as God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. See, there goes Ray. He remembers one of the greatest moments in American television comedy. One of the all-time great moments. Arthur's surprise. That's true. One of the Bill crew does look like Dr. Johnny Fever. Hello, Sir Ian from King Fox Junction. Still looking for another Shinkansen. I noticed. Dudes. Yeah, it was you over there again. Huh. So let's get to, I'm going to go right to the multi-view to start off. So I apologize to those of you who have to squint. This is annoying as get out. Uh-oh. Huh, why is that spinning? Huh. That's gotta be, that's not my OBS or my connection. I don't know what's going on. But yep, I'm getting the same issues here too. I just rebooted the system. I did a half-an-hour test and everything was working. But, yeah, my internet just crashed. But now it seems to be coming back. So I think the issue is a Google issue because I was messing with something on Google and all of a sudden everything crashed. No, it's not the PC. It's something between OBS, my internet, and YouTube right now. Although right now everything is stabilized. But, you know, all the sideshow doctors, the people that are sitting in another room going, well, it could be this, it could be that. You're not here. I know what it is. Unfortunately, I thought I had it corrected earlier, and it came back for a second. I don't want to get too grumpy about it, but I can see where the problem is. It's, why is that problem there? Whether I have 20 cameras on or one camera on does not affect. I'm sending the same amount of signal up because all these views are compressed to fit this one screen. So when I do this, I'm sending somewhere between 5 and 8 megabytes per second of information up. And my internet is supposed to be able to handle up to 22 megabytes of information up. Now, my computer says everything's going fine. These guys said everything's going fine, and then all of a sudden, the internet crashes. But right now, and the problem is, it's my internet company. That is the problem. For whatever reason, their connection outside my house is the issue. So I'm going to have to call them again and tell them that they need to come out and fix something because this keeps happening. This is not in the house, and according to the signal strength, I've got enough signal to send it up. Unfortunately, we live in the neighborhood where the internet is on its lowest quality. They are upgrading the entire city, and we are the last stop on that upgrade. But right now, it is something between my internet and YouTube. Because everything that I have on it says everything's going fine, that everything's working great. And then YouTube says, whoops, hey, we're not getting enough signal. So my upload is good. It's hitting the main server, but it's somewhere between the main server of my internet company and YouTube. But, you know, I had this problem before. This is one of the reasons I left this company, but back then I was only getting 5 to 10, is that their main box out here that all this neighborhood runs into is a real old one, and they need to upgrade it, but we are last on the list to upgrade. And we live in a good neighborhood, so why we're last, that's, you know, usually the good neighborhoods get everything upgraded first. But they've been working from the center of town out, I guess is the way to put it. Because, yeah, we don't even have fiber optic here. They tried to get us to go fiber optic cable years ago, and then they seemed to give up on that plan. So everything here is still coaxial. My internet is coaxial. So all I have to do is go outside on the box connected to my house, and I might have a wire that's come loose since they installed it, and I'll have to tighten that wire. Or it could be where the wire goes to the pole, or where the pole goes to the box. Or it could be something on YouTube's end. But, yeah, I'm a little tired of the gremlins, but in this case it is, it's not in-house. The trains are running good, my computer's running good, OBS is working. It's just, unfortunately, it's something that I cannot physically control. So, no, the PC's running great. It's operating at about 40, what's it saying? Yeah, about 40%, which is not bad for everything I'm doing. Running the internet, running all the trains, the cameras, the mics, everything. 40% is not awful. I wonder if I just take that one car off, if that little occasional slowdown will stop. But yeah, I do love the TEEs. I think they're gorgeous. Of course, nobody's coming through right now, but we will have somebody here in a second. There we go, speaking of the TEE. So you'll see the second car is not lit up, and I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem car. I'll have to mess with that one later. Now that little dude's running at 90 miles an hour. But, yeah, you'll see him coming through here. Probably too fast. But if you look way in the back here to the right, there he is. That little guy, that's the one I tried to do a video with. I tried to do a how-to video where I did the whole process because about 4 different people asked me various ways of using the 60906. They were asking me, could it be used with other motors? And well, only if that motor is like the Alstrom motor. And, but it was an interesting story because its motor, it's from 1964. In the video I said the box it came in was from the 70s. Unfortunately, I was looking at the wrong box. It was produced in this particular model. The box it was in is produced from 64. That's usually, it was produced in December of 64, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But anyhow, of all the locos that I got in the Herb collection, there was one that was in, well, 2 that were in bad shape. One was a DC that's dead. The motor is dead. I'd have to go in, clean it, blah, 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 but it's DC, not 3-rail, so I can't convert it to digital 3-rail. But it was in the worst shape. When I got inside, it was relatively clean, but there was a lot of oil and gear lube and caked dirt and stuff in the gears. I really put a lot of effort into cleaning it. The brushes were okay. The brushes in the motor were okay, so I left them alone. But the thing that really caused my eyebrows, and I wish I could have filmed this video so that people would have seen what I was running into, what I was talking about, is the factory wires were exactly where they had been since it left the factory. All the wiring inside was original and the way it was when it came out of the box. The only thing that had been done to it is there is a little light on the front end that it's an incandescent, it's a micro incandescent light bulb. It's not LED, it's an old micro, and they wired it in and, you know, ran to the positive and the negative terminals on the motor. And right now it doesn't, the light doesn't seem to want to work over there, but it may also be that the voltage when I was running it over here was too high. I don't think I blew the bulb because it was working when I ran it in earlier this week. Well, in some ways that's somewhat understandable. It's easier to run the lines, and of course you guys in Europe run the lines underground. Here in America we run them on poles, so the wind and the ice and the rain mess with them all the time. That's one of the frustrating things. But that's why I went back to the local company, because I'd rather deal with the problems with them where they will do something and fix it for a while. Like I said, things are running fairly good here. But I'm hardwired in. I'm not on a router. I am hardwired in. The modem is right here. The modem is hardwired from outside into the house. My testing says I'm getting 20 up. So I should be good for this. So the problem is something on the outside. Either a wire outside is loose, and therefore what I'm sending through my modem, because right now my modem says, yep, we got the room, send it up. And then it sends it out. So my modem and my OBS are all saying everything's good. Yeah, we Americans, we haven't caught up with the rest of the world in that regard. When I went to Germany, they talked about that. But yeah, back to this steamer. So anyhow, the thing is, when I was doing the bit where I was showing how you remove the relay switch inside the motor, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got another Alstrom motor here. So let's do this. So here is the Alstrom motor. This is the motor, and this is the relay. This is the motor, this is the relay. Now, the Alstrom is German for all currents, all electricity, all. So anyhow, yeah, a piece just fell off because I had to borrow the screw. This has been my scrapper. I'm using pieces off this to repair others. But anyhow, so this is your motor right here, and then there's a relay. And what happens is in three rail, when it notices that you've switched the direction and the current has changed, it pops the relay, which then changes the current to the motor. So anyhow, when you take this relay out, there should be 3 wires on it. Okay, so you can see there's 3 wires. These 2 are the directional wire powers for the motor, and the third one is just general power. So you got the forward reverse lines coming in here, and then you've got the third line. Okay, so the thing is, you cut those 3 wires and you remove this. But what I wanted to talk about is all these wires that are in here that connect all these things together. They were desiccated. I went to move them to get the screwdriver in to take out the relay, and the wires snapped right off their soldering points. There was no flexibility in them. The insulation coating was hard and brittle, and the wires, when I went to move them, so they must have been exposed to a lot of damp air, because the soldering points, or the factory used crappy soldering, and I can't believe Märklin would have done that, because this was all original soldering. But they were breaking off at the solder points. Normally they're flexible enough, you can move them to get to the screw. They were snapping off. Everything on that steamer, the wires were snapping off, so I had to wind up replacing as much as I could of the wiring. So when I finally put it on with all new wiring and the decoder, it took a while to decide it wanted to run, but as we shall see, if I can get to the right camera, as we shall see, it's running just fine. Coming around the corner here. There he comes. He'll be in view in a couple of seconds. He's running just fine. Happily running. It took him a while, but he's doing great. Yeah, hi Jeff. Yes, Märklin was at Renaud's for their Märklin days, and they'll be there again tomorrow from what I understand. Unfortunately, I'm not going to take the 4.5-hour drive to Chicago this weekend. I can't. We have the showing of my nephew's body on Sunday. The funeral's Monday. And then my grandson is having his birthday party on Sunday. His birthday's not till next Saturday, but he's having his birthday party on Sunday because that's when my daughter could rent the little play place that they're going to have his birthday on. So we're going from a funeral showing to a birthday party Sunday. So tomorrow was just, there was no way I was going to do 4.5 hours there, 4.5 hours back. I would have to leave tonight. I'd get there, about 11 o'clock. And then I'd have to, spend some time there and then leave to come back. Okay, who is causing the little stoppages? I think it's the TEE. Well, thank you for that, Jeff. I don't know when in the foreseeable future we're going to hit the Chicago area. Joyce does want to go to Chicago. We want to visit Renaud's. I have never been to Renaud's. We were going to do it earlier this summer, and then things came up and we had to cancel. But yeah, we would like to, we were going to stay in, what is it, Eltville there. where Renaud's is, and then we were going to spend a weekend, do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing over the weekend in the summer, and something came up and we wound up having to cancel. We hadn't got as far as booking the hotel, but we were saying, all right, well, next weekend, let's go to Chicago, because Joyce wants to go to Chicago. She'd love to go to Shed's Aquarium. We've been in Chicago many, many, many times. We've been in Chicago many, many, many times. But there's a lot of places in Chicago we've never visited. Because we were always there with students from Germany. And that got in the way of a lot of fun. Oh, okay. I didn't catch that. I think you're just struggling with. All right. I think you. No, you got all 4 traction tires. Nope, I can't use you. Nope. Wrong connection, wrong connection. Sorry, for some reason the 241 is struggling pulling all those cars. So, we're going to give him a rest. Do I have somebody else in 2-rail I could run? I don't know. Do I have somebody in 2-rail I could run? What people's heads. Well, unfortunately, I don't have anybody with the right couplings that I could substitute. That was the only decent steamer. I could maybe try that one Italian, but that would just look wrong. So I think we'll just leave the HST going, and I can't hook up the Mallard or... Oh, let's be silly. Let's be silly. I've got one I think I could hook up, or... Where are you? Are you in here? Nope. Then you're in here? Nope. Yep. All right. I'm going to be silly here, but at least the blues kind of match. All right, let's have some fun. Whoops. Hey, you forgot your crew. Sounds like that first car is derailed. One of these cars sounds uncoupled, or well, I can't see, but one of the Orient Express cars sounds like it's derailed, but I can't see which one. Hey, hello, Christoph, Sir Christoph. Yeah, I would like to find a Christmas train. I would love a Coca-Cola Christmas train. Of course, I go there when nobody's there, but the 200 is going to come flying through there in a second. Gonna slow him down just a bit. See, I'm trying to run everybody slower than I normally do, just so they're not so blurry in the cameras. Hello, Sir Alan. But yeah, I don't know why that 241 was struggling, but I checked. It has all 4 traction tires on it. Maybe it just didn't like, though, the weight of all those cars behind it. But yeah, I'd like, now, Joyce, the French company, Joyce, they have a 3-car set I could buy now that is a French Coca-Cola, a big 3-car set, but they want, I could get it for about $152 plus another $30 shipping, but I don't think the cars are worth that. I'd probably just look to find somebody else's, but I would, Märklin just released a new modern era Coca-Cola Christmas locomotive. They've got a Class 101 that came out this year that I would love to go ahead and get and have 2 Christmas locomotives, specifically Christmas locomotives. Because next week I'll bring, the Christmas train is up under the Christmas tree in the living room, so I should probably film that and some other things for Dwight's challenge, or of course Jason from Colonel Cottonbelt, formerly the Train Freak. He put up a bit of a show your Christmas decoration challenge. And you know, put yourself and your family. My outside of Joyce and Kai, and my family won't get on camera. My one daughter that lives with us, she would never allow us to put her on camera. Le Coca-Cola. Le Coca-Cola. Hello, Sir Raymond of Legs. Glad you made it in. Whoops, bad timing on that. And you can see one of my canopy roofs tipped over. Fortunately, it's on a park train and not a running train. Get them when they are on the discount. Well, that's just it. Märklin's got them on discount, or Lipa has them on a discount sale right now, but with shipping, it would still be $60 a car, and to me, those cars are not worth 30 or maybe were $30 each. They're very generic cars that they put very cool strips on, but it's like they don't even have windows, you know, glazed windows or anything like that. It's I just don't see them being worth the price. They don't have interior lighting. All they did was take some generic cars and throw a Christmas Coca-Cola theme on it and say, voila, Christmas cars. But yeah, our Christmas train is starting to get long enough that we might, you know, within the next year or two, we'll have to start breaking it into 2 parts. But yeah, next week we'll be doing Steamer Palooza and run nothing but steam trains next week. One of the crazy plans we have is we're thinking of running in shifts. I almost have enough steam locos, counting the new guy fixed, that I could run 6 new steamers every hour. So from 3 to 4 o'clock, I'd have 6 steamers, and then I would change them all out at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock I could change them all out again, and for the last hour run the last 5 steamers. So all this week, from now until next Friday, I'm going to be thinking, A, am I going to do it? And B, if I did, how am I going to do it? The Tanzwagen. Well, there you are, Thomas. And again, Thomas, not to make you blush or anything, I want to thank you for this amazing, beautiful car you did. Thomas, do you remember what company made the car? Was this a Märklin? Was it a Roco? Was it a Piko? Was it an Athern? But that is just absolutely beautiful. I will have it running on my live stream next week. And what's really cool, Thomas, I'm going to go to the GoPro again, or not the GoPro, the Nexi Solo, is it matches beautifully my cleaning cars. So that's a real nice match. You know, anybody saw me, I put it up with my Viba low hoppers and you know, like ballast cars or whatever, and the locomotive, and the yellow wasn't quite the same, but with these, this is almost exact. So it matches, and I've got 3 of these, 3 different cars that I actually need to run around my tracks here. We are overdue. But just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Yes, yeah, so it matches. That's my cleaning set. Where are the other 2? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Oh, they're down here, right. Ah! So yeah, these are my cleaning cars. This is the middle rail cleaning car. This is the vacuum, the rail duster and vacuum. I'm sorry, that's the rails. That's the outer rail cleaning car. And then this is the vacuum. The duster and vacuum. So you just run those in order. You just run those in order, and yeah, he would kind of fit right in there, wouldn't he? I think you guys could see that. Yeah. So I like that. It's a gorgeous car, Thomas. I can't tell you how tickled I am with that. I just appreciate your generosity to have bought that and sent it to me. Now I gotta go back and see if he... Oh, you believe it was a Märklin, which somebody else said they thought it was a Märklin too. But it's almost time with all those things I purchased recently and what I'm going to get for Christmas. It's time. I need to buy another set of these trays. Ugh, where am I going to put it? Where am I going to put it? Yes, you did not weather it because I like clean. Had you weathered it, it would have been just fine. Let me get back to trains here. Joyce, me, and Rusty Twanger watching the trains go by. That, I don't know if, I mean, when I got into the hobby, well, not me. Let's do Bridge View. I don't think I've done that one. Bridge View, there we go. When I got into the hobby and was following all the German things, all the pros said, if you want to clean your C-Track, get the Lux cars. The Lux cars are ridiculously expensive. They are about $200 each. Sometimes you can get them on sale for $175, but they are expensive. And I do think they're great. I don't know if they're $600 for a 3-car set great. I mean, I can't complain about that, but I've also seen much cheaper cars that do a good job. But I got conned. Well, conned's not the right word. I got talked into by all the pros. I have Lux cars. I wouldn't use anything but Lux cleaning cars. And they do 2-rail as well. But yeah, they're expensive. They're the cost of a loco. Each car is the cost of a loco. Man, it just sounds like one of those cars down there is derailed, and then I look and none of them are. Got the depot cleaner all in one. Yeah, with 3-rail, you got to have a minimum of 2 because you got to have the middle rail cleaner. I run the vacuum cleaner and the outer rail cleaner because I have been told you really don't need the 3-rail, the 3rd rail cleaner. That the skis running on them keep them clean. That you really don't need. Now, sadly, the people who told me that were shopkeepers after I had bought it. Oh, you bought the 3rd rail? You bought the 3rd rail? You don't need that. The skis keep the 3rd rails clean. You just want the outer rails clean because they get all the grease and dirt up with the tires and such. But the skis keep the skis rubbing across the top of those nubs keeps those nice and clean. It does wear them out in the long run, as Miniature Wonderland is finding out after 20 years. They are now replacing all their 3-rail track and replacing it with 2-rail because not that the track was bad, but Märklin didn't design it for hundreds of trains running on it 16 hours, 20 hours a day. Tad U961 4XL dump car with roof and hinged hatches. Privately owned car of the Märklin Magazin Göppingen. Yes. So it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And I'm going to look for more cars with it. But I like the personalized split rock mining or Bergbau split rock. So awesome. You actually went and found the boxes. So it is a Märklin. So cool. Which means I couldn't run it down here. By gum, I'm going, wait, I think I know who is, haha, you sneaky little devil, I have found you. I know which one. It's all because Ipo made fun of you. Aha, you naughty little boy. I knew it was you. You have been causing me troubles for a while. Okay. Yeah, there's always a car. But it's been a long time since I put those, yes, I do have a modern Scots rail pulling Old French. It's Franco-Scottish cooperation down there, which should make the English nervous, because usually anytime the Scots wanted to rebel against the English, they usually went to the French for help. Hey, is that our friend Stefan? Skål! The Norwegian Viking is here to go with the Danish Vikings. I'm just going to take you off. That's it. Well, it's awesome to have you here. The Old Alliance, yes. No, you can't. That's what I was saying in my video, and what I was saying earlier today before you came in, Thomas, is just how brilliantly it is done up. I mean, if you didn't know any better, this could have been a high-end release modeled on an actual car with an actual company of Split Rock Mining, because this is just detailed so beautifully, so exquisitely. I love the doors. It's only when you open the doors that you realize it's been painted on the outside. But that is not, please do not take that as anything other than deep admiration and appreciation. Well, hello, Sir Carl Braun. Welcome in from Bangor Junction. All right, you have annoyed me enough. That's it. Nobody on this train is eating. Nobody gets to eat. You, my friend, are coming off. I am tired of your derailing and scraping and obnoxious sound. Heavens to purgatory. Hopefully you come off. Hopefully you do. Man, I want a quality Orient Express set of cars. Just something up with those bogies on that. No big deal. I won't even call that a gremlin. That's just, every time I've run those Orient Express, there's one or two of the cars seem to act up. I keep trying to fix them when I have spare time. Wow, we only have 30 people in here. I've chased everybody away. You had to look up what it meant. Yeah, Stefan, I have been putting in the basic non-static grass, the scatter grass, and already I'm so happy with it that I'm only going to use static grass in a couple of places. I will admit, since I did this earlier this year, I am just ecstatic with how it looks. It will never be a museum quality because I'm just too lazy and too content with mediocrity to try to make it a work of art. It's a flat area. The rail lines are not prototypical. You don't usually have 6 lines running like this except in a staging area or coming in and out of a major terminus. So anything I did to make it look too realistic would in some ways be wasted effort. But yeah, I will eventually get some static grass in some areas. I am going to work on the Fowler car. Artie is coming to stay with us in 16 days, so just over 2 weeks. Artie will be staying with us for a few days, and he's already asking for a checklist because he wants to make me work on the Fowler car while he's here. He wants to see if he can help me get the Fowler car system going again, or at least solve the tech problems I've had with it. Although I'm pretty sure it's just the reed sensors are burning out. And maybe I've done the motors. Hello, Sir Anthony of Middleport Junction. Welcome. Thumbs up, thumped. Well, I appreciate that. The last 2 live streams, I ended with nearly 500 views on each one. And today, we're just kind of quiet today. So it's that time of year where my live streams are hit and miss. Last week, we had 50-some people in at one point. Usually, I'm around 40. Usually, I'm around 40 people at any one time. Sometimes we get up to 45. Occasionally, we do hit 50, 55. There are live streams where people have 75, 80, 100. Or you go to the big channels when they live stream, like Jenny Kirk or SMT Mainline, where they just have hundreds of people in that chat, and the chat just flies by. And unless you could slow down the chat for yourself, and there might be 2 or 3 people you're talking to there. I never want to get where I'm so big that I only look for certain names to respond to. I try to respond to everybody, and if I didn't respond to somebody, it's because I missed it. That's why I always encourage people, especially when I can broadcast in OBS, where I can see it here and here, that they highlight my name if you can. Now, if you're on a phone, you can't do the @ symbol, and my name comes out in the orange bar, and then I'll see it for sure. I thought somebody was over there. I swear I looked at this. Stupid glasses messed with me. Yeah, let's do up the ramp. I love that 101, that Deutsche Bahn Museum livery. And that's very appropriate for the Munich-Nuremberg Express because that's celebrating the Deutsche Bahn Museum in Nuremberg. And then I've got the Munich-Nuremberg Express cars on it. There goes that gorgeous TEE. I love those template cars. I got those from Herb. Most of them I did buy 1 or 2 separately. But to complete the set. Well, that's what we're talking about with the Fowler car. To be honest, the overall station area is ready for me to start doing the scenery. I just need to get the Fowler car working. I've got all the stuff to do the road and the scenery. I've got some things 3D printed up. It's just sitting in a box waiting for me because I can't put the stuff in until I get the Fowler car sorted. Whatever I'm going to do with it. I always like this view. It's just crisp, it's clean, and you can see the trains in the background. And from this angle, my crappy little backdrop that Joyce took the pictures, it's a panoramic picture Joyce took. We were on a train from Delmenhorst to, was it Lüneburg? Or we were going through the Lüneburger Heide. And Joyce just filmed it, dropped the window down and filmed it, and just took a bunch of pictures, and I spliced them together, and then I took it, and you know where it goes this way, I mirrored it so the end of the picture touches end, so it mirrors into itself and then spreads out. So with a little bit of work, you could see the point where it's the same picture going this way and this way, mirrored with each other. But, you know, and yes, you can see the seams, okay? It was never meant to be professional. But from this angle, this camera, and watching the train go in front of it, actually, for my taste, and granted, I don't have snobby taste, it actually looks good. Looks cool. Looks acceptable. And the key is, one of the things that I think so many channels do, but I'll mention Charlie Bishop from Chadwick. He does such a wonderful job. He gets his backdrops, and then he gets his scatter, and they flow in. Moldy Raspberry's another one. Green Junction's another one. Their static grass, they get the colors right, and it just flows into the backdrop, and it really creates a non-scenic, there's no break. The backdrop, the 3D scene flows straight into the backdrop. They match the colors up perfectly, and that's so hard to do. And so when I was creating scatter, I had these photographs. And I just mixed 4 or 5 different colors and then marked down how much of one until I just learned. Now I do it like a cook, where I just keep adding a pinch. Maybe Carl could verify. You know, after a while, you just know in your head, it's just a pinch of this and it. And I mix it up. So my scatter grass, if you look at it, is the same color as the grassy fields, not the trees, but the grassy fields in the background. I think it really came out. Yeah, now I knew that because he did an interview with Richard from New Junction, who, by the way, got his channel back. Richard at New Junction did an interview with Lewis, about 5 years ago now. I don't know if you could find it, but they were sitting on the floor running his layout. So it was awesome that he did a layout tour. I was thrilled because I have seen that layout, and I have talked to Lewis via comments and occasionally on Facebook many times over the last 6-7 years since I found his channel pre-COVID. Just wonderful, wonderful work he does. But then there's my buddy at Green Junction, who is, in my opinion, his layout is every bit as good as Moldy Raspberry. And Moldy Raspberry, in my opinion, has one of the nicest layouts on the internet. Now, there are people that, well, these popular people say how great his layout is and they like to poke holes. But in my opinion, he has one of the nicest layouts on YouTube. His layout is a work of art and could go into any museum. It could go into Miniature Wonderland and still stand out. It's that good. Hey, Sir Randolph Ellison, my buddy. So just the green flowing to the backdrop. See there, the backdrop's not great, the static grass not great, but combined it really creates a nice flow, especially, and to me, you really see it in this angle where it just flows. I'm going to see, yeah, I'll have that IC coming back across it in the backdrop. And again, you don't have to say you agree to make me feel good about myself. I know it's not great. I just think it looks cool. I'm happy with it. I'm quite pleased with it. And in the end, that's what's most important. Could I do better? I don't know. Probably. But I also am content to say I like it. The only thing I want to do is reprint those and try to get them on a scroll where it's one sheet of paper. But I would have to take that to one of the printing shops. And the old Kinkos are gone now in this area. But yeah, I would take that. I would take those pictures as a banner and have somebody print them out as on one sheet of good sturdy paper and then put it on a proper backdrop. That's just taped up to the wall. That's just scotch taped on the wall back there. Hey, Sir Rick of Rick Trey. And there we had Rusty from Possum Bio. You just got up. Well, that's all right. I thought I saw somebody greet you earlier, but I saw it for sure this time and wanted to make sure I said hi to one of my favorite people. Have any of you people that are avid YouTubers, have you gotten your year-end review from YouTube? The year in review 2025? It listed as my second favorite interest on YouTube was NASCAR. No, it isn't. And the only NASCAR I watch is when Randall is doing his NASCAR series video games because he's doing all these characters from my cartoons. Otherwise, I'm not into NASCAR and I don't watch NASCAR videos. And his videos should be considered gaming videos, but they had that. Now, the channel I watched the most was my own. I watched more videos from my channel than anybody else's videos. But I did watch videos from 1,680 channels in 2025 so far. I've added at least 3 today because I watched 3 different channels I've never seen before today. But 1,680 different channels I watched videos from this year. Well, hello, Sir Andre Eckert. Yeah, KJ, that's what I'm saying. I did that on purpose. But again, none of this is permanent. I'm still going to do static grass, and I still got to make a better print back there, but it will be that backdrop because that is some of the landscape between Delmenhorst and, well, technically Lüneburg. But we did go to Hanover and then go up to Lüneburg. Were you $9.99? You were the one after 909. That's a Beatles song reference. Move over once, move up twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Hello, Zeppa. Yes, I've got 2 218s going. I've got 3 diesels, 2 electrics, and a steamer running short track. That little steamer I fixed up this weekend, converted to digital, is running in. He's just having a good little time. I am very happy. That's one of those little... I'm sorry, I'm a kid. I will never grow up. I will age, but I will not grow up. My trains are toys, and I treat my toys like a kid on Christmas. I am so excited. When I got that little guy running after 3 hours of effort and had it slowly... just jerk, 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 jerk around the track. And it did that first loop after 5 loops where I had to grab it, take it back to the beginning because it was getting where I couldn't reach it. And it kept stalling. And then that first lap where it went, but it made it all the way around without stopping. It looked like it was going to stop a couple of times, but then it would get going. And then the next lap, and then like 5 more laps, and all of a sudden you go, oh, that's going smooth. And I'm running around this table. I'll embarrass myself here and show you what it looks like. But I'm running around this table right here. I'm going, come on, baby, come on, you can do it, come on. I am running around this table, cheering it on. I'm just like, come on, you can do it, come on, baby, you can do it, come on, you can do it. And when it finally completed a lap without any signs of stopping, I was just like, oh, yes! And I go into Dr. Frankenstein from the old original Frankenstein's movie. You know, I go, it's alive! It's alive! And I tend to develop a very deep love. No matter how much I love, like, my IC3s and my Flying Scotsman, my 01s and my 101s, and like the P8 and this little guy, they have special the 216 over here, the 216. I have 2 of them, so the one of them. Whenever I can get them running, it just, you know, when they go from it doesn't look like there's any hope in them, and then I get them running, they just become special in my heart. Loosened up that ancient. Yeah, it was probably in the worst shape of anything I picked up from Herb. Without a question, it was in the worst shape. And that's saying something, because I should say that most of the stuff I got from Herb was in great shape, but this thing just was, like I said, I'm not even so much worried about the old grease and dirt. The issue was the power flowing, because the wires inside of it, including the wires on the spindle, were so desiccated. Where's my little guy I was using to demonstrate? See, this one is, I'll show you why. I don't know how well you're going to see it in there, but you see that spool in there? That's where you have your wires. That should be more of a copper color. Those are just black there. But the ones in that, they were brittle, and they had some insulation on them, and the insulation was hard and cracking. So I just wound up taking it all off, cut a couple of the wires to a place where I thought they were viable again, and then I put new shrink wrap insulation on them, and then I spliced in the new wires from the decoder. So I was really doing quite a jerry rig. I was really trying to get that I was really doing a lot of extra work on that, and I wanted to get that in video for the people that wanted to see how you do it and also demonstrate. And if you run into this problem, you may want to do this. It just, really needed a lot of extra TLC and some jerry rigging on my part. Now I say jerry rigging, but the fact is everything is wired correctly and as it should be. It's done properly. But to get to that point, I had to cut some wires that normally I wouldn't cut. I would just splice. But I had to take everything back to source. I had to take it back to the soldering points. I had to remove things and resolder them in. Yeah, Tom, in my opinion, that insulation is rubber that dried out. So this was stored in a place that got very warm, very cold, because that will kill rubber. Very warm, very cold, gets moist, dries out. And yeah, it was just really, and as I was saying earlier, it was snapping off when I tried to move the wire, and normally you can just take the wire and flex it. Again, let me give you a demonstration of what I'm talking about, because I never know if I'm being clear, and I'm sure some rivet counter's like, what are you trying to say? What are you doing? Okay, it is the TEE that's causing that, but I think it's the one car. But you know, normally when you want to like unscrew something in here, you've got the wires here, you have these little bits, and you should be able to bend this out of the way. The wire should be flexible. Even the wire that's running here, that's not coated. But this should be flexible. But when I was moving these things, they were just snapping. But having said all that and explained all that multiple times, my apologies to those of you that get sick of me talking about the same thing. There it is. It's working. Digital. So, and that's one of those weird things. It goes back to just what I was as a teacher and when I was a toy collector, is taking something that's not being used and maybe somebody else would throw it away and bringing it back to life and letting it do what it was made to do, which is run on some track. That loco was made to run on track, and I'm letting it do what it was made to do. And that makes me feel good. Almost like that thing has a spirit to it, you know, and is grateful that I've worked it, given it another chance, another lease on life. But yeah, I'm tickled with that little guy. So it's just been one of those things. We've had some major sad events in the last week, but we've had some major good things too. You know, this wonderful thing from Split Rock, finding these freight cars at a really ridiculous price so I could buy them, even though I hate buying myself stuff right before Christmas. But the time to buy something is when you want to buy it, is when you see it. The time to buy it is when it's there. But yeah, just very, very happy stuff. Hey, Sir Andy of Dobson, Puff Candy is here. Mark of the Northern, nice, you're a teacher as well. I am retired, but hello, fellow teacher. What did you teach? And I'm going to knight you here so that you can post a link to your channel. I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. All right, Sir Mark of the Northern 8918, you are now a knight of the rhomboid table. You have the royal spanner. You can now post a link to your channel or any other channel that can be about anything except politics or religion. We don't talk politics. We don't talk religion here. Trains, comedy, music, food, whatever. So if you got a channel you think is really funny, you got something else, you got somebody that's into flying model planes, remote controls, stuff like that, we share it all here. So share your channel and let us take a look at it. Hey, there's Sir Kieran. How are you, Sir Kieran? Hello, Sir Josh. Welcome in, Sir Josh. Exactly. You know, I'm sort of like Santa Claus in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys. Nobody wants a Charlie in the box. Who wants a squirt gun that squirts jelly? Oh, there are times I would have liked a squirt gun that squirted jelly. But I taught English, history, and German. I taught German language for many, many years, which is where my love of German trains came in, because I got asked to do an exchange program with a city in Germany. And beginning in 2003, I started taking students over to the town of Delmenhorst in Germany. And I am an honorary citizen of the town of Delmenhorst, so I'm very proud of that. Happily proud of that. And then my station on this side, that is a 100% scale scratch-built model of the Delmenhorst station. And the bus center right in front of it. And then eventually all these buildings will be put in the proper order to become part of the city of Delmenhorst in front of the train station. Hello, Monsville, a bad night and you just woke up. Well, considering it's only about 7 a.m. where you are, if that, maybe it's only 6 a.m. where you are, I would call that waking up on time. If that's sleeping into you, I'm sorry. When I was a teacher, I got up at 5 a.m. I got up at 5 a.m. every day for 40-some years. Now Joyce gets me up at 6:30 on the weekdays when she goes to work, because Joyce is also a teacher. But for how much longer? Is she going to retire this June, or is she going to try to stick it out one more year? Hey, Sir Dwight of Curly Express is here. Nice to have you here, Sir Dwight. All right, yep. So it's about every third loop, it hits there, and it's going over that point there. So either that point's a little loose, or it's just that car's a little bad. I might take that car off and see if it stops. But it's not happening all the time. 7:39 is late for you. 7:39 is early for me on the weekend, but like I said, Joyce gets me up at 6:30. But 6:30 is still an hour and a half later than when I used to get up at 5 all the time when I worked. Coming at you. Good rail fanning position. Coming at you, the 218, the AW Cottbus 218. And now we'll flip to this camera. Up, the TEE's going by one way. And the IC is coming the other way. You're up at 4 until January. I'm sorry to hear that. When I worked as an asbestos remover as a summer job when I first started teaching, I worked as an asbestos remover. I had to get up at 4 o'clock to be on site at 5:30 because they wanted us working before the heat of the day kicked in. So our shifts were like 5 a.m. to, 2, 3 p.m.? Because we had to build in we were in hazmat suits, and we had to build in these visqueen vapor barriers. It was, you would lose a lot of weight to sweat in your hazmat suits. Plus, you were showering multiple times a day because you would get on site, then we'd have these special trailers that had showers. You had to shower, go into the clean room, put on your hazmat suit, grab your sanitized materials, and then you went into the workplace through a hazmat tunnel. You went into the workplace, and then you would get a 15-minute break, which most guys would work through. But if you took your break, you had to come out, shower, go on your break, come back in, shower, hazmat up, and go back in. So most guys just skip their breaks. And then you came out, you had an hour lunch. And if you skipped your 15-minute breaks, you could take an hour and a half lunch. Well, they were, of course, really uptight because this was old world asbestos fibers, and you only have to breathe in one asbestos fiber and get it in your lung, and it can create 3 different types of lung cancer. What is it, mesotheliosis or something like that? There's asbestosis, and all 3 are 100% fatal, but they also take 25 to 30 years to, mesthatize. So it can be there forever. I did hit a point in life where I had to be checked, and then they're like, okay, it's been 20 years and you show no signs, you're good. But I had to be checked once a year. I had to have my lungs checked. And I did that for 2 summers. But I'll tell you what, I made more money in the 4 months of asbestos removal as I made in the 8.5 months as a teacher. Because I also would work weekends, but I made a lot more money as asbestos remover. In 1986, 87, and into 88, I was making anywhere from, depending on what job site, I was making $24 to $35 an hour. That's in the 80s. I wasn't making that much teaching. So Brian of Clintonville is here, but I think I said hi earlier. And somebody said Kelly. Did they mean Curly, or is there somebody named Kelly here? You fell asleep around 4:30 a.m. Yeah, Joyce did not sleep Wednesday night. I think she had like an hour of sleep, and she went to work. She really should have taken Thursday off, but Joyce, take a day off of work? Oh, heaven forbid. Now, she's taking Monday off for the funeral. But it really just, she had a long talk with her sister, the mother of the young man that committed suicide. And it just finally all broke on her. I mean, just, you know, the empathy pains, the sympathy pains. And it just finally volcanoed in her brain Wednesday night, processing it. And just, you know, everything. Because, you know, we babysat these kids when they were little. Joyce and I, for several years, babysat these kids in the summer when I wasn't working. Yeah, Josh, I saw that you say that. Yeah, I put up a video. You can learn more about it in the video earlier this week. Now, obviously, I'm sorry if it... obviously, every day I'm putting up a video with the Fowler Note Colander figurines, and I hope the stalwarts are enjoying that because we're following the same trend. Hey, Sir Simon, welcome in. Another Sir Simon. Simon from SJ Train World was here earlier. I'm putting up those short videos every morning, and then this week I put up 3 other videos. I had the mail call video, I had the Suit Express video, and 5 videos, because the mail call, Suit Express, then I tried to do the how-to on the decoder, the upgrade video, which didn't turn out, but it still turned into a 30-minute video as I talked about the process and the funny issues with the steam loco getting it running. Because a week ago at this time, Josh, that little steamer wasn't working. It was a dead loco. But now it's alive and happy. You watch them at work. Yeah, they do come out. They come out at 2 a.m. our time, Rick. But if you live on the Pacific West Coast of the United States, then they're actually coming out 11 p.m. the night before. But I film them, like with Cayenne, I film it in the afternoon the day before so I can edit it. So it's every time that train is there and that guy is passing them there. Okay. I think that turned out. I'm going to have to crawl into my cubby space this week and rip out a piece of track and replace it. It's been a hard week at work for her. And again, I mean, it's her sister, and it's her closest sister by age. Maybe her closest sister, I mean, all the sisters get along. And the oldest sister of the 4 sisters lives in Virginia, lives in the mountains of Virginia. But they talk by phone or internet a couple of times a week. But when they were kids, Joyce and her sister Julie shared a room. Julie was always the closest one in age, so Joyce kind of had a, you know, this was this was the sister she knew the best. Her other sisters were a bit older than her, 6, 7 years older. So, you know, when she's starting school, they're in junior high and high school, and yeah, I forget, 5. I think there's 2 between Joyce. There's like 6 years, 7 years between. There's 3 years between Joyce and Julie, because Julie's a year older than me, year and a half older than me. There's about 3 years between Joyce and Julie. Then there's 2 years between Julie and Tom, and then 3 years between Tom and Holly, and then 2 years between Holly and Kathy. Kathy's the oldest, who lives in Virginia. So if you do, you do that math, Holly's like 10 years older than Joyce, or 8 years, 9 years older than Joyce, and Kathy's 10 or 11 years older than Joyce. So Julie was the closest by age, and they shared a room as kids. So, yeah, it's obviously the real pain, the real hurt is on Julie and her husband Keith and their immediate family, his 2 older brothers, and they're going to be dealing with this sadly forever. I mean, something like this you don't ever fully come back from. So, it's bad enough losing a kid to, and I say kid, but he was 41, but losing your child, they're always your child, to an illness, to a cancer, to a car accident, something like that. But when out of the blue they take their own life, especially when there were no indications, there were no indications of that he was suicidal. It just out of the blue. And so yeah. Yep, Randall. Hey, Artie. So, I appreciate the condolences, but really it's for the family. I mean, it's been tough on Joyce. But it's not an immediate effect on us. It's a secondary, but yeah, it's especially at this time of year. Yeah, Simon, I am running a Class 103 in the TEE livery, the cream and whatever color red they called that. Blood red. Every now and then I'll get people battling nomenclature terminology. All I know is the modern Deutsche Bahn red is called Verkehrsrot. But like this one coming by, that is called Ozean Blau und Beige. That's the official term from Märklin and Deutsche Bahn. But I'll have people who say ocean blue and cream, and it's called ocean blue and cream. Well, according to Deutsche Bahn, it's ocean blue and beige. So like I say about some things, don't argue it with me, argue it with the company in charge. It's the same thing with the Flying Scotsman when people pointed out the color was wrong. And I agree. The color of the Märklin Flying Scotsman is not accurate to the actual Flying Scotsman. I agree. But don't argue it with me. Don't yell at me about it. Yell at Märklin for getting it wrong. Well, I just need to find, and somebody's already sent me a link, so I've got the link. I gotta peruse what shows are going on in the UK, in the areas Joyce and I are going to be at the times we're going to be there. Otherwise, we're just going to be looking at shops. Oh, burgers and chips or burgers and fries. A good cheeseburger. And all I want on my cheeseburger is burger and cheese, and then a bun. And then I might put I might put mayonnaise. I might put ketchup and mustard. I might put ketchup and mayonnaise. I rotate between those three. It's just, what am I in the mood for today? Ketchup and mustard, just mayonnaise, or ketchup and mayonnaise. And just, the American cheeseburger is my favorite food, along with pizza. I could eat cheeseburgers and pizza every day the rest of my life and never get bored. I would want to add in occasional lasagna and veal. Well, yeah, the old red was, I believe, called Oriental Red. Orient Red. I believe the old red. But the new red is called, the new red that is the official red livery, Deutsche Bahn calls it Verkehrsrot, traffic red. Verkehrsrot. And the old red, previous red, like that red, I think of the 200, I think that one was called Oriental Red. Ah, thank you, Simon. I think that is the same one somebody else gave me a link to. I think that's the same one. Seems the internet has stabilized. Oh, I haven't even done that camera. Let's go to that camera. I haven't shown this camera at all tonight, so let's get to this camera. Oh, Zephyr, that's cool. Now, I have seen V200s, but in sightings at train museums in Germany. So I have seen the 200s in real life. Well, hello. Yeah, I mentioned schnitzels there, Jean Ricard. I mentioned schnitzels. Hello, Sir Heath. Welcome in. Nice to have you. Greg, I have had Giordano's many times. From 2003 to 2015, I was in Chicago for 3 days every year. So I've been at Giordano's, Pizza Uno, and what's the other deep dish one there? I think Giordano's is our favorite, but we've done Pizza Uno, and there's a third one, and I don't want to say Donato's because that's the one in Columbus. Hello, Sir Philip. Would I redo? No. As much as K-Track looks more realistic, and there's Sir Brian. I saw you posted a bunch of videos today. I will sneak peek and then comment on all of them on the last one when I have a chance. You've seen a V180. I haven't, Andre. Yeah, that's just the camera trying to focus, but every time I tell it to stop, I stabilize its focus, it goes blur. You know, most of these cameras are relatively El Cheapos, you know, $29, $39, $99 Amazon buys. But yeah, going back to C-Track. No, I mean, and I'm not done putting scenics on this by a long shot. I may be done for 6 months to a year because it took me 5 years to go from building this table to putting any grass on it. Well, 3.5 years. And then this year I finished the first layer of grass, but I'll still do static grass. As you can see in the Bremen, Hanover area over here, I've got a lot more work to do on there, but I got the grass in the grass areas I wanted, and now my focus is over here, and I want Delmenhorst to look right. So the next project is to put some static grass in the areas where I want static grass over here, and then it is full time getting Delmenhorst with the Fowler car system working but I got to touch up some scenics before I start doing the Fowler car. Then it's rearrange all these buildings and remove a bunch of them because they won't actually be part of Delmenhorst. Now would be a good time to add an ad. I'm not adding ads. I will never add ads. You have put ads on, but I will not add them. The 219. I have only seen 219s in videos. But I was very pleased when one of the trains I got from Herb was a V200 because I didn't want to break down and buy a new one, but it came as part of the collection I bought. And voila, I have one of the classic German railroads, the V200. Anyhow, so for the third time, going back to the question about C-Track. I love C-Track. It's digital for dummies. I'm not worried about the realism of it. I'll eventually cover it up with more grass and weeds and that so it doesn't look as awkward. I will eventually put some darker wash in between the tracks to look like dirt and grease stains and everything over this matte grass so it'll look muddy in places and so forth. But I just love C-Track. I love how easy it is. It form fits. You can run all the digital wiring underneath it. So even though K-Track looks more realistic, and yes, this is a piece of K-Track, I love my C-Track. I would not change. I would not change to 2-rail, and I would not change to K-Track or M-Track. It was a happy mistake to get into C-Track, but it's one I don't ever foresee correcting. Oh, well, thank you, Mark. It's just, you know, I'm not so much about prototypical in terms of how a layout looks. I need to have lots of trains moving. It's ADD and autism. I like lots of trains moving. And so my goal was how many beautiful trains could I have running at one time? Not how realistic would it look going from Delmenhorst to Bremen. Just how many trains could I get running? I could get at least 2 more loops in on this side, but I would lose parking. So I had to make a deal between. You could see there's 5 lanes of parking in there. What we can't see is up on the wall. I have 3 levels of trains on the wall over there. I have a bunch of locomotives on the wall over there, and then I have more on the Herb shrine over on this side. I guess I will give you guys, since we have a few new people, I'm sorry if everybody else, I go, oh God, here he goes again. So over there is the Herb shrine with a lot of the, let's see if I can get my hand out of the way, with a lot of the locomotives and some of the cars from Herb. But there's also a credenza below it that has 5 drawers filled with rolling stock from Herb, including all the beer trains. And then behind the Delmenhorst and Austrian flag there. Whoops. Maybe if I just turn this. There you go. On the top shelf. On the top shelf are all my basic Märklin locomotives, and on the bottom shelf are all the non-Märklin. So Roco, Brawa, Piko, Jägendorfer collection, and of course that new Suit Express beauty I just picked up. That Suit Express 159. And I'm going to change to a different camera and see if I can do it this way. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Vomit cams, all good. Everything I have, Brian, is 3-rail AC. Everything is 3-rail AC. All right. So can I lift this up? If I unplug that, I might have, there we go, enough slack. Do I have enough slack? Okay. So now over there, you can see 3 more shelves. All my fancy steamers and cars are on the top shelf. which you can't see because the camera is too crap. Darn, I was hoping this would work. This is a tablet. And then all my high-speed trains are on that parking area there. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do one other cam and try to give you a better view of this. Let's see. We want Raymond corner view. I'm going to do this camera. So over here, you can see all my high-speed trains, my rail jet. You can see my rail jet, and then the 4 versions of the ICE. So it's ICE 1, 2, 3, and 4, each in a separate lane. And then there you can see my long commuter trains. So like a Flix train, the Alex, a couple of Regiobahn Dostos, the IC2, which is not a commuter train, and it's an express speed train, and then the Metronome, and then again all the steamers here. Now I gotta see if I can get this back into place. That's good enough. That's good enough. Sorry, I can't see the chat at the moment. And then I'll come back to the camera on me. And then if you look down here, I got all these trays are filled with rolling stock of different trains down here. And then down here where I'm running the double O trades, I've got more shelving right here, and right there. All of those are filled with trains. Now that's not nearly as many as some people have, but it's a lot more than many people have. And I apologize if you see that, like, if you think I'm trying to show off. I'm just trying to show you what I have and where it is. Yeah, I need more. And, well, this Christmas I'm going to be getting a bunch. So the only thing I really didn't give you a close-up on is, whoops, that camera ain't good shit, is the herb shrine over there. I don't think I have a camera that I could really, actually the best camera to see the herb shrine without moving would be that one. Yeah, even that one you don't really see the herb cam very well. Village view, you can kind of see it with village view over there. You can see another IC3 and a bunch of guys parked over there. You would like to start doing live videos? All right. Everybody will give you a million opinions. I'm going to see if this holds. Yeah, maybe not. Huh. It was holding, but then it started shooting way too much up. All right. It didn't crash, it held it, but it was sending more information than it should be sending. I don't know why. All right. So anyhow, if you want to start doing live stream, the advice I would give you is, number one, enjoy it. Don't get into a competitive, I've got to do, my layout doesn't look as good as that layout, or I don't care if you run circles on a kitchen table. What I look for is somebody who is sharing their joy of the hobby. Now, not everybody. Some people only want to watch videos of people that have extremely well-built layouts or who are in the middle of building a... But if you want to run trains in a live stream, the number one thing is share the joy. This is something you like to do. Enjoy your trains. Show that you love your trains, what ones you really like. Give us stories behind them. The other thing is, if you want to do it consistently, I would always suggest find a time period that works for you and be consistent. There's some people that they'll go live, but they'll go live at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, and then 9 in the morning on Saturday, and that's because that's what works for them. That's when they can. But to me, it's better if you have a consistent time. There are some people you might not get, and you can't worry about other people being online. If Friday at 3 o'clock works for you, you're not going to offend me by live streaming on Fridays at 3 o'clock, which is when I start my live stream. There's always somebody on. And then, just 1 or 2 cameras. You don't have to be an insane knucklehead like me where I've got 18 cameras around my layout. Just 1 or 2 cameras that show your trains. A good one to watch is Hot Dog Pilot Andy. He's on at 8 o'clock Eastern United States time in the morning, which is 1 in the afternoon for him on Sundays. He's got, I think, 2 cameras. One that he usually has on himself that he then puts on the track, and then he has one on the other side, and he gives you a couple of different angles of his layout. And he's got gorgeous trains. He's got a nice layout. And in the end, that's all you need is find a time that works for you consistently. Obviously, if you're like my friend Randall, where he's on call at work, so he might have 3 Tuesdays at 7 o'clock in a row where he's free, and then he'll have 6 in a row where he's not free because he's getting called in every time. So it's not saying you have to do these things. It's better for you if you want to build an audience. If you look at the numbers, I have been doing Friday at 3 o'clock for over 5 years. I haven't missed one yet. I am about to do my 300th live stream in a couple of weeks. This is number 297. But some of the early ones, I was doing more than one a week. But I finally settled on Friday at 3 o'clock. And since that, I've done 270 straight live streams on Friday. Actually, well, even going to the first. But like I said, I did others where I did them on other days of the week. But I always did one on Friday. So out of the 297, at least 270 of them were Fridays at 3 o'clock. So it's been 270 weeks in a row and 300 live streams in a row that I have done without missing one. And people come. There are people that have been here, like my friend Tim Dowd. He's been here since day one. He's been here since live stream 1. Kieran is another one that was here that he's been here since. I could go Leslie Gilpin, who is not here today, or at least I didn't see him come in. Yeah, Andre, and cameras are great, and cameras are easy. You can use the free form of StreamYard. I use OBS. I prefer OBS for live streaming than StreamYard. But, you got to pick your format. StreamYard is much easier to get the hang of than OBS, but once you get OBS, you can do so much more than you can do with StreamYard. The real difference is StreamYard is a Google Chats, a Google Hangout on steroids. It was designed for internet calling, and they made it a live streaming platform. OBS is a broadcasting platform. It was designed for doing podcast and live stream shows. Yeah, a camera stand, right. I know what you meant, Andre, a camera stand. But I have got, do I have any of them here? Because I think I took them all upstairs. I've got little mini tripods everywhere, and I've got, I don't know if you can see, this is that tablet I was just using. The camera, it's closed so you can't see anything on it, but I was using the camera from this tablet. And I've got another stand to it. I've got a camera tripod back there with a camera on it, which is the 11-lane camera, etc., etc., etc. So the thing is, to me, it's about share the joy. Now, if you want to grow your channel and grow your audience, then there's a lot more things to talk about. But just to get started, turn the camera on And if possible, my friend Kieran, Monsville, and several others that are in here will not do live streams or put themselves on camera for various reasons. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to live stream, have a presence. Let people get to know you. Heath, how long have you been around? I mean, I've known you since before COVID, and that's when I started live streaming. I don't know if you came to the first one or not. You may have. You may have been to the first one. I remember just a few weeks ago, I went back and looked and started going through some of the names of people that still come to the live streams that were there for the first one. So these are the people you need to look into locking up because they have stayed with me through 290, what is today, 297? They've stayed with me for 297 live streams. What is the purple and cream colored? That is a 1920s RHeingold. Those were the German. Now, please understand, I'm not saying this in a prototypical sense. They were the German luxury liner, kind of like the Orient Express, but they ran the Rhine River, the RHeinGolds. So you would have very similar cars to what you would have on the Orient Express, very high-end luxury coaches. A tripod, if you get the right adapter to it, all you need is the little screw on the bottom. All you need is a little screw on the bottom, and they sell adapters. I should have that right here. For example, this fits on any tripod, and then you just need the little camera holder will screw into this screw here. And then this slides into the tripod bay. So you just got to get one. In fact, so if you're doing a phone cam, you need the phone holder, and then that will screw in onto here usually. And this is like $6 on eBay or Amazon. And I know you're in a different country, so the money and everything will be a little different. But yeah, now, again, I think a personality can sell a live stream. But again, everybody that's in your audience has a different need. Okay? They have a different need. So some people want the personality. Some people aren't as worried about the personality because they're there to see the beautiful layout and the beautiful trains. I don't do a lot of how-tos. I have done videos showing people how to use OBS, but half the people watch the videos say it's still not working for me. And I've done it about as easy as it can be done. Speaking of which, I wonder if Joyce is going to make her appearance. She didn't come last week, so I was hoping she'd come in today. If she doesn't, I would understand why. But there are some people here that are here because they want to see the European trains. Or like me, they like the channel because I'm running 10,000 trains. You know, they just want to see all the movement. So my ADD brothers. But being on at a consistent time will help. And then the other side to help build your audience is don't go into live streams and chats and advertise yourself right away like, hi everybody, I'm new here. By the way, I have a live stream on Friday. Get to know people. Go to channels, become known. Chat in rooms like this where we're very open chat and it's open topic outside of politics and religion, where we'll talk about anything. One day we're talking pizza, one day we're talking music, famous actresses, horror movies, stupid things people do with their trains, the gremlins I've been fighting with lately. You know, it's an open topic, open forum. And then the other thing is, make sure you have a way to keep up with the chat. I think interacting with your audience is very important. There's a couple of people I love that do live streams, but they don't look at the chat much. So people are talking and asking questions, and they don't see it. And so people stop talking and stop asking questions. So, like me, again, I can't do that, camera. I'll do this one. Oh, I'm already on this one. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So, I have the chat up. Here I am. I have the chat up right here. And I also have the chat up right there. Plus, there's a computer behind me that has the chat up. Come on down. Oh, vomit cam. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's about where it should be. Yep, that's good. But again, I retired and used some of my retirement bonus to buy a supercomputer that could handle all these cameras and the 3 monitors. And now if I could just get my internet to cooperate, which it used to for years. And then it stopped working because they kept cutting us from 10 Mbps up to 5. And I do 7 to 9 during most live streams. Which is why I'm wondering why it's spiking when I go to a couple of bits and all of a sudden trying to throw 15 up. But even then it should be able to handle it. But I haven't done this one in a couple of months, I don't think. So this is my layout. This is my layout. If you were looking this way, because you got to understand, even though I'm looking at you really here, I'm actually turned around and facing that way. To my left is the Delmenhorst side, but if you look at my arm, it's pointing to the side of the map over there, which says the Bremen side. That's because this is flipped. I should do the mirror on this one, but I don't like doing the mirror. But, I mean, Joyce would be the reason I come to this live stream myself. Oh, that's right. Joyce is still at work. She's still at work because she's got to set up for a substitute on Monday. Yeah, I did see we buffered there for a second, but it seems to be okay now. Oh, it just buffered again. All right, well, I'll get off of that one so it's not acting up so much. Uh-oh, there's the crash. We should be all right. We'll be back in a second. Huh. We buffered for a couple of seconds, but my OBS went from green light pushing 7,300 kbps to red light pushing 20,000. So I don't know why I was spiking with how much. But there's so many great live streams, and you can just watch them all. And I don't even get a chance to watch them all because I do promise my family that I won't be on YouTube 24/7. And also, I tend to go to bed between 9 and 10 o'clock most nights. But, you know, there's like 9 o'clock tonight is Dave from Scott Rails. He's got a great live stream. He's got a beautiful layout. He's got a great personality. He's very funny. A Scotsman living in, I believe he's in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Very funny guy, great guy. But you go in, pick your live streams. All right, Josh, you have a good evening. Thank you for hanging out with us, Sir Josh. It was awesome, as always, to see your name here. Do I have buses on the layout? Well, yes, I do, and someday they'll actually be running circles around parts of my layout. Do I have buses on my layout? Of course I have buses on my layout. Da 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 da. All right, which one of you two will I put back? I'll put you back on the track here. Okay, buses. Buses they asked for. Buses you shall get. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They need cleaned. Wow. All right, that's it. I have got to clean my track. If the buses are this dusty, well, I do clean the track a lot more often than the buses. Wow, these are filthy. But yeah, you can see where I just went and grabbed the buses, but another one of my favorite shots, because again, the grass just flows right into the background. Okay, so what order do I want to do these buses in? What order? Who wants to go first? All right, we'll start with you, because you're the biggest oddball. All right, so I'm going to put me on the big screen again. Sorry, kids. You're here for the trains, and you get my mug instead. Badink. Okay. So the first bus I'll introduce you to is actually the first bus I ever bought, I think. It's this one. This is a generic Deutsche Bahn bus, but this is a Fowler bus. And that's the little magnet for working with the motors and the turnouts that I'm having trouble with. So I don't know if the magnets have gone bad. Well, you know, which magnets go bad? Well, they can lose their mag. But yeah, the little guide that follows the wire with the little magnet on top. So I bought this, and I had this running just generic circles on my layout a few years ago. But that is the basic, except someday the chassis of this bus will be replaced. Not the chassis, the shell will be replaced by one of these. This is an actual City of Delmenhorst bus. This is what the buses in Delmenhorst look like today. It even has the actual, I don't know, can you see that on there? I don't know if that will show up. It's actually got the bus number and route. So this is 204 Annenheide, except now Annenheide is 203. They've changed the routes and the route numbers. They did that a few years ago. Here is another Delmenhorst City bus. You'd have to look close on there. Oh, will it say it? It says Delbus on it. Come on, you might see it. This is their standard bus. This was when they really started advertising themselves more. But this one also has, for example, I think you'll see this one better, 203 Dwoberg. 203 Dwoberg is now 202 Dwoberg. And 208 Dwoberg. So not only is it the bus, it has the routes that they run. There was also a 205. They did 202, 203, 205, and 204. 202, 3, 4, and 5. They didn't do 201, and they didn't do 206, 207, or 208, as well as the weekend buses. But really, you could go inside these and change them. But I've got 202, 203. No, I've got 203, 204, and I think that one is 205. I've got 3 of the 4 routes that they had. And I will take the shell off of this one and put it on here. It's going to take a little jerry-rigging, but they basically will fit. and then this will run, along with another one, will run automatically around my layout. The key is what I'm trying to get it to do is to pull into the station and stop off at the bus stop, which I had it working April of 2021 or April of 2020. And then I messed with it, and I've never been able to get it to work since. I should have left it alone. It was working. And I messed with it. I tried to make it full digital so I could just press a button here and have it start up and go. And I screwed it up. And since then, I've replaced the motors. I've replaced the little bits to it. They still won't work. I have never been able to get it to work properly since. The buses will follow the tape, but they won't work on the motors. So, anyhow, now I'll go back to comment. Oops, don't want to go there right now. The first bus I bought was named Joyce. Dude, are you calling my wife a bus? Oh, bust. I didn't buy that bust. I got it for free. Including the 5-finger discount. Although I got my hand smacked after that. So, hello, Ray Bertelson. Yeah, but, you know, it's cool to have buses in your scenery if you have road scenery. It's cool. There's a couple of channels, like Roger from St. Blasey has a lot of gorgeous buses. Tony Pinnell's at Tony Northeastern has quite a few buses. And there are several other channels that just have awesome, awesome buses. Your gardener arrived. So working on the new heater for the house. Okay. So yeah, I'm very happy to have these buses. I first saw them online and bought a couple of them online. And then the next trip I went to Delmenhorst, I actually had to go into the bus headquarter building. And they had them all. They had 2 of the 3 I didn't have. They had them there, so I bought them. So I've got 5 Delmenhorst buses. One of them is the Hasbergen Special, which no longer runs. But yeah, I've got 5 City of Delmenhorst buses, and of course, speaking of Delmenhorst. I showed you guys this a couple of weeks ago, but I think you can see that says Feuerwehr, Fire Department Delmenhorst, or Fire Force Delmenhorst. So I've got a Delmenhorst City fire truck. And basically the equivalent of a Delmenhorst EMT. This one does not say Delmenhorst on it, but it's a fire rescue. But it does have on the doorway, it's so hard to see. But if you look and squint really hard, come on, zoom, zoom. I should do it on the 4K camera. Let me see if the DB Tech camera will do it. Are you going to focus in on that? Come on, focus, focus. I'd have to manually do it. Ah, well. But on that door is the Delmenhorst flag, which I showed you a little bit earlier. So, yeah, anything that says Delmenhorst on it, I try to collect. I'm trying to get Delmenhorst Fire Department. Now, they don't do police departments. Police departments are regional. Oh, yeah, Shaft. Yeah, because Ritza makes them for... I was shocked Ritza made them for a city as small as Delmenhorst, although I say small. Delmenhorst is about 74,000 people. But, you know, Ritza, you will see they make Nuremberg and Munich and Hamburg and a lot of the big cities, but they make them for some of the mid-sized and small cities too. I was amazed and pleased because it was really cool to see them. That little shot where you just got the two little hills there. But if I'm going to put my river in, the hill on the left comes out. All right, good night, KJ. It was great to have you here. And I think I said hello to Chuck earlier, but hello, Sir Chuck. They made one from Gustav. Well, that's cool, Gustav. But this is just the cleanest camera, and I keep thinking, where should I move it? Although it's the same type of camera as this one. But, you know, sometimes I like the far away shots and see the whole thing in action. Sometimes I like the close up and see everything going by. No, I watched it while she was at work, so I didn't show it to her. So I'm sorry, Randall, she didn't see it. And to be honest, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, wait a minute, what line? You'll have to refresh my memory. What line did you drop that Joyce might like? Was it because it's related to... Because I might have just took it as another line from... Yeah, plenty of stuff related to Innsbruck. Yeah. Well, if I lived in Innsbruck instead of Delmenhorst, I'd probably be modeling Innsbruck, but I'd also have to be building mountains, so maybe I'm glad I'm not modeling Innsbruck. Mein Gott, it is so big. I've got a few Bremen-related things, but because Delmenhorst is, you know, Bremen's the big city closest to Delmenhorst. I mean, Oldenburg, Bremen, or Delmenhorst is technically in the county of Oldenburg, but it's a lot closer to Bremen than it is to Oldenburg. It's about 6-7 miles from Bremen to Delmenhorst. It's probably only like 4 miles from their metropolitan limits to each other. But from downtown Delmenhorst to downtown Bremen is about 9 miles. And, but it's more like 15-20 miles to Oldenburg. So Bremen is to the east of Delmenhorst, and Oldenburg is west of Delmenhorst. And Oldenburg did not like Bremen. That's why Delmenhorst was formed. So the Duke of Oldenburg could keep an eye on the bishop and then later Archbishop of Bremen, because they were always arguing over territory. The areas did go to war against each other a couple of times, or took different sides in the internal Holy Roman Empire wars. Could somebody tell Ritza to make a model of that? Yeah, I've got him on speed dial. I've got him on speed dial, Andre. I'll just call him up and tell him to get to work on it. I'm sure they'll listen to an American in Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, because Innsbruck is in the middle of a valley, and other than the local little villages, so to get there, trains weren't always the best option, so they got nice bus routes there. Innsbruck is small enough. Joyce and I walked everywhere in Innsbruck, but we didn't go to the outer towns, which we would have taken buses to do so. But again, we were only in Innsbruck for a day. We didn't live there. We were living in Mittenwald, Germany, and we went down to Innsbruck for a day. I don't know if we would decide to go and stay in Innsbruck for a longer stay. I mean, there's obviously all kinds of cool things and little villages to stay in. But, when we go back to Austria, we're looking at going to Linz and maybe down to Graz. Next time we go to Austria, and I don't know when that would be. I won't even try to put it on a list. Our next trip to Germany right now is scheduled 2028. I don't like going 3 years in between. But 2026 is back to the UK. And then 2027, we're planning on going back to Australia. Now, maybe what we'll do is, because Joyce will be retired by then, we can do a trip to Australia because she wants to go in October, but maybe do a quick trip. Joyce wants to go to Germany for the Christmas markets. And since a retired friend of hers is on a Rhine cruise hitting all the Christmas markets along the Rhine, it's only inspiring Joyce even more. To the point where she says, oh, let's just do the Rhine Christmas market cruise. But I'd rather do it myself. And but yeah, I'd like to go to Linz. I would happily go back to Salzburg and visit Oma and Opa's Modellbahnladen or Spielzeugladen. I forget how they did. That was a wonderful shop, and it was packed. They probably had trains that I wasn't looking for then that I'm looking for now. But again, our next planned trip to Germany, the continent itself, is 2028. Unless we do something crazy in 2027 after Joyce retires. Or maybe we'd go to Germany in June for a couple of weeks and then go to Australia in October for a couple of weeks. Because with her retirement bonus, which will be a lot bigger than mine, we'd be able to afford doing that. Yeah, and the thing is, all the tourists. Oh yeah, Joyce is here all this time, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Here, have a mic.
All right, let's start with the
Although
mic.
I prefer you have an Anthony.
I have an Anthony.
And
All
then let's
right.
get you on
First of all,
camera.
hello everybody. So Andy, I'm waving at you. Hi. Hi there, Mark of the North. Hi,
is new
Chris
today.
Valley. Nice. Hi, Simon. This
Let's
isn't
get
Cindy.
the white
Hi,
people
Gregory
on camera.
Northern.
Where is the
Hi,
host
Sean.
line?
Hi, Chuck Shriver. Hi there, Mon.
Where is it? There it is. Bingo. And now we turn the Joyce
Yeah,
cam
we're
on
doing
Joyce.
Rochefort. Yeah,
There we
really.
go.
That would be kind of cool, Andre. I don't know if that's in the talks, but we'll see.
What's that?
So how you, Tom? Oh, Andre said if we come back to Rostock.
Oh, and we did. I mean,
Hi, Artie.
we loved Rostock.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Randall. Hello, Andre.
It would be
Guten Tag. That's not quite right.
it would be
Ah,
very
Dino.
hard.
Hello, Mick. Oh,
There are
we're
just
looking forward to seeing you, Artie.
there are just certain cities we
hi
we
there,
have
Lee.
stayed at that we loved. I mean, Bamberg. The minute we
Hi,
talk
Ray.
about Bamberg, we just go.
Yeah.
Bamberg was great. We love Bamberg.
Bamberg was right at the time we were there.
It was the perfect city at the
Hi,
right time at the right
Scott.
place. Rostock was brilliant. We
Hello,
enjoyed our time in
Sepper.
Denmark. Copenhagen, we had a great time in Copenhagen. The city itself is gorgeous, but it's
Yeah.
not a place we'd feel the need to go back to other than to meet people again. Because
Right.
Simon from SD Train
Pretty
World
much.
was beautiful.
Brilliant,
He's one of
yeah.
the most brilliant people we've met. Simon from SD Train World lives in Copenhagen, and then the town of Roskilde, which I loved as well. Beautiful little town. And got to see his club layout, which was really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
So the problem is sometimes the people are awesome, but the place, we enjoyed our time with Jean and
We did.
Abeltoft.
Yeah, we did.
But if we go back to Denmark, it's always that
Oh,
we
thank
want
you,
new.
Tom.
We want there are other places, other sections.
This has been very, very difficult indeed. He's 41. It's like, oh Lord. He gave no good signals about it, so. Hi, Kieran. I feel really bad. It's my sister's
All right,
son.
don't. I know people are
I
sending
know.
condolences, but you're gonna break down again.
I know. We cried a lot. And everything's Sunday showing and Monday the funeral. So I'm looking forward to getting past it.
Yeah,
I will always keep in touch with my sister.
yeah.
Yeah. Northern Islands on the top of
We
your
saw
bucket
the
list.
eastern
Okay,
part
so-
of Denmark from Aarhus up to the very tip of
Gotcha,
Denmark.
okay. Well,
And I don't want Jean
that's not
Ricard.
too bad, Andre.
I don't want Jean Ricard getting mad, and I don't want Simon getting offended. But my favorite part of Denmark, and we did a lot of cool things in Denmark.
We did a lot
all
of
right?
cool things,
But
yeah.
if there were 100 beautiful
PK.
things, number 1A was going to
Thank you, PK.
skiing.
Yeah, we had a great time. And
We went to that little point of Denmark.
point.
If you go to your map and see where
pointed it
Denmark
out to my
comes to a curved
students
point,
today.
we went to that little point in Denmark
Wore my
at the
shirt
very
on
top,
Tuesday.
and we stood at that very point where Denmark comes to a point and then it's water. That
Yeah.
was one of the coolest experiences. Now, swimming in the Kattegat was
Yeah,
very cool.
It was very cool.
I got called
went, I
a
didn't, but-
Viking by Jean's aunt,
Yeah, that was lovely.
and I got called
unfortunately
brave by
died.
the 3 locals
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
at
nice.
Boheim or wherever it was we went.
Yeah, it was nice.
Bolsum. Was it
Bolsum,
Boslum or Bolsum?
I think
Was it
Bolsum, but I don't know.
OELS or OESL?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
John's awake, he'll tell us.
Yeah.
Well, hello,
Oh, thank
Sir
you,
Bob.
Andre. This just came out of the blue. It just really hurt the family thing.
We just, that little bit up there because,
Hi, Aaronville.
but going swimming
Thank you.
in the Kattegat was very cool. It was a blustery day, a cool blustery day, but that doesn't bother me.
Isn't it?
Air temperature was, about 63 water temperature, Fahrenheit. Water temperature was probably
Yeah.
65
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
he lost his trunks. I know. I
Yeah,
don't know
yes,
how he
yes,
lost
yes.
his
We
trunks.
can't talk about swimming in
Yeah.
Australia without the trunks disappearing after I change clothes.
Yeah, I think he just didn't pick it up.
Well, I think I threw them on the bench where I was changing, where you were holding a towel around me to keep
That's right.
Artie from ogling
Right.
and being
yeah.
jealous.
Yeah. Right.
And we don't want to make
Before
Artie
the
feel.
spring.
We didn't want to make Artie feel
Weird. Just whatever. Uncomfortable.
less a man. No.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
And I set him on that little chair thing, and then
Yeah.
I thought I threw it in the towel and wrapped it up after I got my pants
and
back on.
apparently you got distracted.
But yeah,
if you did.
it was very cold in Australia too when we
It
went
was,
swimming, but I don't
yeah.
have a problem with that.
Well, the sea was a little bit warmer, so that helps.
The water was about the same temperature. The
Oh.
air temperature was a little bit
I
higher in
haven't
Denmark.
seen that. You put people up on your observation area there.
Oh, you didn't?
That's
No, I
really
did that?
cool. I didn't
I've
see
got.
it when you did it.
I don't.
That's really cool.
Most
up
of the
there.
yeah, most of the seating
nice.
cars don't have people, but the party bar car and the panorama car,
Panorama,
I did
yeah,
people
you
in
did
them.
that. Yeah, it's cool. Inadequate?
So Jean Ricard says, yeah, it was Boslum.
Boslum. Okay.
Boslum.
Thank you, Jean. Hello,
But
Jean.
I enjoyed that. That was a great experience. And those 3 people bundled up in the wind, just staring at the beautiful ocean, watching me go in, swim a bit, and come out. They're like, "You are a brave man."
And Ruse
It's
from
like,
the distance.
or crazy.
I don't think we saw Ruse when we were there.
We saw what?
Yeah. He said you were so proud going in the water and you saw the local kids running in and out. Oh, winter started on time here in Pittsburgh. You have 6 inches of snow. Yeah,
got-
next week it's gonna be in the 40s.
Yeah, we got
So, you know,
we got a
about
ton of snow
3
last
to-
week. 2 different storms of
3
4 to 6.
to 8 Celsius is gonna be next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what our
We got a
temperature's
ton
gonna
of
be.
snow
Which
last
is
week. Had to
awesome.
shovel my driveway 3 times, and then it warmed up the last 2 days. It
Oh, yeah, it
rained,
does.
and all the snow is gone. And then it's supposed to be warm for the next week. So a week and a half ago, all the weathermen were like,
Yeah.
"We're gonna have a white Christmas. We're gonna have a
Right.
white Christmas." And I was like, "Well, we might have a white Christmas.
never
We might not."
mind. It's gonna be warm.
I haven't had a white Christmas in
What he's saying is it's possible. It's too far out, but he says you might get snow late Christmas Eve to Christmas morning.
That's what we did like 10 years ago,
Yeah,
the
I
last time we had a
know, it
white
was,
Christmas. It's
yeah.
not a white Christmas if it waits till Christmas
I
Eve
hear you.
to snow. I want it snowing that when I come back from all the parties,
You
there's
know,
snow on
we're
the
gonna
ground,
go
the
in
lights are on my
Christmas
house.
Eve.
I'm
Oh,
sick
3
of
to
all
5
these
inches there
brown
tomorrow.
Christmases.
Okay.
I'm sick of these brown and gray Christmases.
Yeah,
I
me
want a
too.
white
I
Christmas.
want a white Christmas too. The air temperature gives you the shakes. Yeah.
Brown because everything is either mud colored
Well, it is.
or gray because it's cloud, and of course
Oh.
every city and every building in
Well,
Toledo is
I
gray.
don't know, Artie. The way things are setting up, you could be in snow when you get here. But we'll have to see. It's a little far away.
The snow can go away now, Mark says.
Mark of
See,
the
I'm one of
North.
those oddballs. I love snow.
Well, they say it looks a lot better than the dreariness.
I
but
could
it's not
never
here.
live in a place where there wasn't snow
Very
during the winter.
brown
I
here.
cannot
We
live
don't have
in
snow.
Florida or
No
the deep
leaves.
south
So you
or
have snow
California.
possible.
I need, if I were to ever move,
Yeah,
it
you're
would be
just
north,
a little north of us,
where I
Rick.
could guarantee white Christmases.
No Christmas stuff for the layout. Oh, no. Get Christmas stuff. Go get-
I don't have Christmas stuff on this layout. I have a Christmas train,
Right.
which will appear on the layout next week for Steamer Palooza.
Oh,
Don't
next
forget,
week is
everybody,
Steamer
next
Palooza?
week is Christmas Steamer Palooza.
It is? Why?
But I have it on because it's the last Friday before Christmas.
Is it?
Yeah, the following Friday is the 26th.
Okay. I wasn't sure what day it was. but-
I like to do it though.
Yeah, I know,
It's just the
Chicago
last
does it.
couple of years, Steamer Palooza has been right before Christmas, or
Right.
last year like right on Christmas.
Yeah, so you got it a little early to
Because
be
we
on
had
your
that
birthday,
break
right?
between we had that break
Is
between
that on your
opening.
birthday?
What?
That's on your birthday.
Yeah, next
Hey,
week. Yeah,
it's a
next week is
birthday
my
live stream.
next week's live stream is also my birthday, but
Oh,
you don't have to get me anything.
yeah, I got you presents though. I got 2 presents for you.
Yay!
Yep.
Yay!
We got to 70 here. By Sunday it'll get a little colder. Okay.
Yeah, I need to live somewhere where snow
So
is
yeah,
guaranteed.
Steamer-Palooza and your
Now I don't
birthday.
want snow in April, although
Right.
in Toledo we've had that a couple times in my life.
Yeah.
But lately we don't get snow until mid-late January into February. And
Well,
last year we didn't get any
actually,
snow.
We haven't had much snow the last 3 years.
Yeah, the last 3 years we have
We
had
have
minimal
been
snow to
in
no
a
snow.
Quite a snow drought
And
here.
you have people celebrating that, like, yeah, great, Toledo, no snow. And
We
it's
have
like
almost had as much snow this year as we did
the last 3 years
the
combined.
last. I think last year days combined.
But that's
yeah.
a drought. That's why when we get into the
Yeah.
summer, we're talking about being in the drought because we're not getting the moisture in the
Right.
winter.
Well, it hasn't been getting as cold too. A lot of people are like, we need those
Happy early 25th.
very,
Do not flatter me. I hate it.
very early. We want very cold temperatures to kill the bugs.
I hate it when I go to a
Because they
restaurant
have
and
it.
the young
You got
waitress
tons of
calls
ticks
me
and other
young
things
man.
around.
I am not a young man. I've earned the age I'm at.
What about on the
I'll be
platform of
61.
Delmenhorst?
I'll be 61. I have earned that age. And I hate it when people, do that.
Right. They
Hi,
change
young
your-
man.
Right.
But I also don't like the older one when the middle-aged, like the waitress at Big Boy,
Yeah.
sweetheart, always
Yeah.
calls me sweetheart.
Right.
I'm not your sweetheart.
Yeah, it's
Aren't you
been
just
bad in the Midwest and the East. Yeah, you could put lights on the platform back there. Do you have fairy lights on?
Not that would be Christmassy. And I'd have to wire them up in a way. I don't know that I'd want to put them on the platform back there because I'd have to
Okay.
find a way to adhere them and then run the wire to the power
Right.
supply.
Yeah.
And that would be a hassle. So, yeah, I don't.
I mean, we do have Christmas at the bar. You can see it.
Yeah, my
Beyond my
Christmas
head.
lights are at the bar. That's
Yeah.
where I do the Fowler calendar reveals.
I'm already 61, Anthony. You're a whippersnapper.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's good for hay fields too. Yeah.
The only thing I'll point out now, Joyce is here on a Friday after a work week. But catch Joyce
What?
when she's had some rest.
Yeah.
And she does not look anywhere close to her age. When you come home tired from
Yeah.
work, you might look close to your age.
Yeah,
But you're coming up on the big 6-0 yourself.
I am. Yeah, that's in May.
You're 59 and a half right now.
Right. Yep, I'm pushing it.
And I don't say that to flatter her. She drives me crazy because but I guess it's a happy thing. You don't look your age.
Yeah, it's all right. She's a mom, had great skin. She held her own for quite some time.
Not many remember after drinking on January 1st.
Right.
Your whipper has snapped. My snapper was whipped.
Okay.
Chris, it's cool that you swing that way, but
Tom,
your personal fetishes are really... I don't know if we want to make that a topic in here. I got my snapper whipped.
Rick, still in your 50s. Yep, I know. You're a youngin'. You're 74, fit as a fiddle due to alcohol. Yeah, if it works for you, go for it. Isn't Santa? Yeah, Santa and the reindeer.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
platform.
Actually, I do have Santa and the reindeer
Right.
on the platform, so we do have.
I believe they are in their summer togs, though. Mark of the North, who doesn't like snow, asked you what your favorite steam locomotive is.
Oh,
No,
all right.
it's all
That,
right.
in all fairness, that's easy to answer. The only steam locomotive I actually would have admitted I love, but now I've grown into steer, is the Mallard, the UK A4 Mallard. The A4 in general.
You have down there?
Yeah, I have it down there, but it's not running.
I know.
That's my favorite. The Mallard.
Down there.
Set the speed record. But any variation of the A4, like the Silver Fox, is gorgeous and might be even cooler looking than the Mallard. Or if you're from some of the UK, the Mallard.
Yeah, plenty of snow in Minnesota. There should be
As
snow
far
in
as
Minnesota.
German steam locomotives, apparently I'm partial to the 01 and the 18 because I have a bunch of 01s and 18s. But I'm not a big steam
I
guy.
thought you were going to say the first two you bought.
Well, the P8 was one of the first ones I bought. Actually, the RHeingolds.
Yeah, the RHeingold.
I love them, but I love them as much for the cars as the locomotives.
Fair.
Again, it's considering I have 20-some steamers.
So your BR81's your favorite. Okay.
BR81 for you.
That's fair.
No, I don't think Darling would ever be taken derogatory.
If you can afford a Silver Fox A4.
If you can afford a Silver Fox.
Is
Do they go
that-
for a lot of money? I mean, I see them relatively, what I consider relatively cheap on the aftermarket, but yeah. I was 74 and fit as a fiddle, thanks to alcohol.
Yeah. So it works for him.
I was going to go put a camera on it, but I don't think I can.
Oh, you can't either. Yeah, I have twinkling
Well,
lights
wait a
over
minute. I got one
where I'm
way to
sitting.
do
You
it.
can see him.
I'll screw the camera up. Let's do the up the ramp
That's
cam.
for his
It's over
thing.
there.
I hope you
Alright.
guys are enjoying Kyan with him. I think it's adorable, but I'm very biased.
Kyans get a little wilder each time.
Yeah, a little bit.
He's getting a little more wound up.
Yes, he is. But I think that's okay too. And let's face it, he's a kid. He's really excited about Christmas.
I
although
have no idea.
his
Joyce. You're
birthday's
gonna have
coming up
You're
first.
going to have to guide me, Joyce.
To why?
You got to look at that screen because I'm going to grab this
Oh, okay.
camera.
Gotcha. Okay.
Vomit cam.
Yeah, vomit cam.
All right. Am I
Aye,
get,
aye, aye.
do I have them in view?
You have Santa Claus in view, yeah.
I'm losing all the. I have Santa Claus in view there.
You do. Better now that the train's passed. So they are a little out of focus.
Oh, I might need to back up a bit.
Okay, yeah, there's Santa and his crew. You can see the Pulitzer there.
Yeah, Santa
Santa.
has 4 policemen. He's making a statement holding a bottle of whiskey.
You've got the reindeer all on cases of beer and booze.
Little deer vomit on the ground.
One of the deer is vomiting. I don't know how well they're seeing this.
That's what the green stuff is.
Well, the green, they're wearing wigs and afros.
Yeah, wigs and afros.
Some of them have
I
hats.
thought the green on the ground was his vomit. Maybe not.
One's wearing a Werder Bremen.
You need the coaching stock.
Thing.
Yeah, shaky cam. He's got shaky hands. It can't be anything but a shaky cam.
Sorry, guys, I can't.
Unless you brought your tripod with you.
No, I don't have room to stick the tripod.
I understand.
All right. Oops. Okay, I assume this is way off now.
No, you're still. Now you're off. Way off.
Which way?
Oh, you're on the wall. Okay, that's not bad. It's probably not quite where you want it, but you're up the track again. I don't know if you can see it on mine or not.
Which way? Oh, that's way off.
Well, you can see the train's coming at you. I thought that was all right.
Yeah, but I like it to be roughly, the edge to be roughly even with the wall close to it.
Okay.
I'll adjust it more for next week.
Yeah, I think it's all right for today.
Well, since we're almost done here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Oh, it's 5:59.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to have a sub for Monday, and I always do detailed stuff. And then I had to update my seating chart because I moved a few kids. I had to do a lot to get ready for it, and I still need to.
300 views.
Nice. I have to.
Anyhow, just in case he's watching, I don't know.
My people.
Just in case he's watching. Kyan!
Hi!
Kyan! Opa loves you! Hey, Kyan!
Yeah, his birthday party's on Sunday.
Yeah. His birthday's not until next Saturday, but his party's on Sunday.
Right. Funny, Simon. Yeah,
Right.
party's Sunday, and then his birthday's the following weekend.
Yeah,
No,
I've got
it's
to sort out why
Thursday.
that's happening.
Yeah, I was Googling jumbo
I'll do
wrapping
that
paper
later.
for the present
All
we
right,
give
well,
on his birthday.
It is 6 o'clock on the nose, so
It
is
is.
time to start shutting everybody down.
Yeah.
I'd like to do the multi-view, but...
So anyway, I'll be a lot earlier next week. I'll be home.
Will you be home next week?
Yeah. Won't I?
Oh, it's Friday.
Oh, well, I'll be home earlier.
You'll be home earlier. Teacher's work
I hope
day,
so. It is a teacher's work day. I was thinking it was after that.
Which means you still have to work until 3 or whatever, unless they tell you can go home early.
No, Randall. Anthony's been watching you without me.
Yeah. Well, tell her the line. Did you see the Lil joke? Well, I caught the Lil joke, but I didn't register it. Like, oh, Joyce needs to know that one.
That you could tell them, yeah. So let us, just give it to us. Spoilers, Oh, buddy, tired. I don't know. Is it the weekend for pizza?
I'm in the mood for pizza.
Yeah. All right, let's get pizza.
I'm in the mood for pizza. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so there we go. That's everybody stopped, I think. Yeah, we got everybody stopped. All their lights are turned off.
Wow. Good morning, Monsville.
All right, so anyhow, let's...
More reasonable than the beginning of a stream. All right, the ends I wouldn't come for the last hour. That's Pittsburgh Yins.
Yins. All right, so
Y'all
we have
down
come...
south.
We've come to the end of another live stream. Another 3 hours come and gone on a Friday.
Yep.
Next week, which will be live stream 298. We're not going to. I thought we might get to 300 by the end of the year, but it's going to be the first live stream of the new year. That'll be number 300 in a row.
Okay, Carter.
But anyhow, next week is going to be the Christmas Steamer Palooza. Because it's always the last live stream before Christmas.
Right,
Just
that's
last year
right.
was on Christmas, and the year before, the day before Christmas. But it just keeps moving on.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll see a lot of you there. We're going to run all steamers, and I'm really going to try to figure out a way that I can run 18 steamers through the live stream.
He's going to just transition them out.
Just change them
The
out.
ones on. He's got a lot of steamers.
Okay, now for the next shift. Well, I wouldn't. Last year at this time, I
sorry,
wouldn't have even
Possum.
been able to do 2 shifts.
Yeah, true that.
I have tripled the number of steamers I have
gained
this year.
Ton.
Yeah. So until next time, it's gonna be weird having you say it instead of
I
Cayenne.
know. Cayenne's been doing such a
Thank
good
you
job.
all for joining us. We really appreciate you
do.
all.
We sure do.
Thank you for all the well wishes and everything you've done.
Yeah.
So until next time, we will say Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy
Happy
trains.
trains.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Oh, whose do we want?